By 632 CE, the Muslim community was orphaned, for their prophet had passed into a deep slumber. But for the leaders of the new caliphate, only one path could be taken, the path of conquest. To the inhabitants of late antiquity, Rome and Persia were the two eyes of the world. Yet by the 6th century, war and plague had devoured Constantine's legacy, and like a scourge, civil unrest inflicted his empire. In 602, the Persian doom approached. Syria was taken first, Palestine second, Egypt, Anatolia, the Holy Land itself. Soon the armies of Shahanshah Khosrow were at the gates of Constantinople. Yet in the wake of such doom, Rome still resisted. In 622, Emperor Heraclius retook Anatolia. 4 years later, he humbled the Sassanids at Nineveh. By 628, the war was over. Khosrow was dead, murdered by a son. The empire descended into civil war. Yet as Persia's great houses traded blows, something stirred in the deserts of Arabia. By the time 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐫𝐿 III ascended the imperial throne, it was already too late. The final hours of his world were at hand. The Arabian Peninsula was vast and at times unforgiving. Endless sand dunes, limited waters, scorching heat. Yet to Arabia's nomadic Bedouins, this was home. The Bedouins fought with sword and bow, rode on horses and lived in tents. This was one face of Arabia. Yet to the south, in parts of Oman and Yemen, existed another, an Arabia of high mountains and rainfall, an Arabia of civilization. And last, the scattered towns of the Hijaz, home to the Prophet Muhammad and the great merchants of Mecca and Medina. From these three corners of Arabia came Islam's first conquerors. In time, their gaze turned outward, to the empires that held dominion over the Fertile Crescent, to Rome and Persia. Persia's end came with the land that housed the Tigris and Euphrates. By 633, the Muslims were at Iraq's frontiers, capturing some cities and raiding others. They had yet to taste Sassanid steel. That day came upon the banks of the Euphrates. On this day, the Sassanids stood firm. First came Persia's archers, their bows shattering the Arab ranks. Then came her horses and elephants, whose great hooves shattered their spirit. For the Arabs, the Battle of the Bridge was a devastating defeat. Their leaders lay dead, their army lay ruined. Yet Persia did not pursue, and the Muslims did not relent. Upon the palm groves of Al-Qadisiyah they met a second time. The Persians under the guidance of General Rostam, the Arabs under Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas. The battle was relentless. Arab spears clashed against Persian steel, elephants trampled, arrows loosened, swords danced. For several days it remained that way, until in the cover of darkness, Sa'd made his move. Rostam was killed, his forces scattered. Persia's greatest general was now at one with the earth. The Muslims now marched onto Persia's capital. The city of Ctesiphon displayed all the power and majesty of Persia's great kings. Towering arches, glorious monuments, a city of cities. Here the river Tigris flowed, both swift and treacherous. The Arabs pushed forward, the Persians resisted, yet the current of destiny was as strong as the waters of the Tigris. Ctesiphon was lost. Gold and silver, perfumes and incense, luxuries never before seen by the Arabs, all were now sent to Mecca and Medina. Southern Iraq was quickly taken, Khuzestan followed after. Soon enough new cities were built, Arab cities, Kufa, Basra, Mosul. The Arabs' numbers were small, a minority within a sea of Arameans, Persians and Jews. Yet they were here to stay, they were here to rule. At Nahavand, 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐫𝐿 and the sons of Persia made a valiant stand, for this battle was unlike the others. Both sides now had something to lose. Destruction here opened the Iranian plateau to Muslim conquest. To lose Nahavand was to lose all. The Muslims stormed forward, the Persians remained in their trenches, defending, attacking. Both sides now fought with fury, neither side gave in, neither side relented. Then dawn turned to dusk. The Arabs attacked again. More fury, more rage. In the gathering darkness, the commanders of both sides met their end, yet the outcome was clear. The Sassanids had lost. 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐫𝐻 had fled from one city to another, hoping in vain to restore the empire that had already been lost. He too met his end, on the fringes of his domain. With him died one eye of the world. With him died the empire of Zoroaster.
The Muslim conquest of Iran took everyone by surprise. One of the strongest empires of the 7th century, whose legacy went back to the ancient Achaemenids, was defeated in less than 20 years. And yet, Iran's contributions to the Muslim world are incomparable. Poetry, art, culture, sciences. When the Abbasids came into power, the Muslim world felt a shift towards the east. Buildings in Baghdad were made by Persian architects. The Abbasid bureaucracy was similar to the old Sassanid courts. And the famous Bayt al-Hikmah, or House of Wisdom, was inspired by the Sassanid royal libraries found in Khuzestan and Gundashapur. The Seljuks used Persian advisors, the Timurids used Persian engineers, the Ottomans spoke Persian. All drew inspiration from this one region. That's why I found it so fitting to make this side dish shared across the Arab and Muslim world, khiyar bil-ibn, which in Farsi is called masto khiyar. Two regions completely different from each other, yet both share the same dish. Both have influenced each other. Because the way I see it, the Persians may have lost in the field of battle, but they won everywhere else. If you like this video, be sure to check out my other ones where I explore our shared history whilst cooking our shared foods.